Hello, thank you for joining me. I'm Amanda of Inspiring Inkin. Welcome to my craft room. In today's video we're going to be making this card. It's using a watercolour technique, which is lots of fun, and you're going to really enjoy learning how to do that. You may notice that these are new stamps. If you're watching this video when I launch it, which will be about mid-April, you will not have seen these stamps before. They're called Sailing Home and they're from the 2019-2020 annual catalogue for Stampin' Up, which launches on the 3rd of June. So I've got them really early. Now the reason that I got them early was because I was asked to present at the Stampin' Up event called On Stage in the UK, which actually happened yesterday. Now, over the years, I've been honoured to present at quite a few Stampin' Up events, and normally I'm asked to do a business presentation, but this time they asked me to do a creative presentation, and I was so excited because I got new stuff to play with. So clearly I'm really good at keeping secrets because I've had these stamps for weeks. And not only the stamps, the matching dies, papers and everything. So it's been a real treat and a real joy. Now over on my blog, over the next few weeks, I'm going to be showcasing you all of the projects that I made. But in this video, what I'm going to concentrate on is quickly showing you all of the products and then getting on to making the card. But one of the things that I do want to talk to you about are the dies. Now you may have seen comments on blogs and various places that we are changing our dies from this next catalogue. Stampin' Up has had a partnership with Sizzix for a number of years, and that partnership's coming to an end. So if you see our retiring list coming out later today, actually, no, today's Sunday, later on Monday, tomorrow, you will see that things like the Big Shot and some of the dies are actually on that list. That's not that we're not doing dies anymore. It's purely that we're moving to a different manufacturer. Now, I've had my hands on these new dies, and can I tell you, they are awesome. They are shaped a little bit differently. The way they work is a tiny bit different, the way you put them onto your stamped images, but I'm going to show you that when we turn the camera around in a second so you can get to see them, obviously, and then you'll be able to see how fab they are. So I'm going to get the camera turned around. We're going to look at the products and then get crafting. So here is the card in close-up. I designed it basically around this sentiment. It says, "Let hope be your anchor through the storms of life." And basically what I wanted to do was make a stormy sky and sea and put all of these elements on the top. I'm hoping you can see kind of the shimmer on there. It's really cool. It's a really quick technique, and we will get back to that very shortly. But I just want to show you the products. So this is the stamp set. It's called Sailing Home. It's a cling stamp set. It's red rubber, and it's designed like hand-drawn charcoal images. It's really beautiful, really detailed. And there is patterned paper that goes with it. And these are just some of the patterns. So there's stripes, there's boats, there's even newspaper clippings, maps, all sorts. So a really useful collection of papers. There is some baker's twine, which is awesome. There's also some little silver elements here. So there are anchors and ship's wheels. And then there are dies. Now I've got a couple of them here, but I've actually cut them all out so I can show you. So these are the standard dies, but these actually cut and emboss. So I just want you to look at the detail of this. So this one particularly, you might not be able to see it, that's on Early Espresso, but this is on foil. and the detail on here is stunning, and they just pop out really, really easily. And then let me show you this. So this is the lighthouse, and I've coloured it in, and when I went to die cut it, this is one of the open dies, and this is where you can see the difference really in the new style of dies. Our old dies didn't have any metal on the inside edge, so they kind of stopped at the cutting edge. And these ones do, and they seem to have a little bit more metal actually on the outside edge as well. So when you put it down on your stamped image, what you're actually going to do is the stamped image will just touch the edge of the silver, and I'm really hoping that that shows up clearly on camera. So it actually goes just right up to the edge of the stamped image, but when it's cut out, it will still leave you with that little white edge that we know and love, and also it gives it a really very slightly curved edge. So let me just show you all of the dies. These are all cut out. So these images at the top, these go with, not the seaweed, but these all go with stamped images. So you've got two boats and the lighthouse, and the spinner, I don't know, it's part of the compass and the anchor. And then these pieces all cut and emboss. And these two sentiment ones are lovely. And I don't know how well the camera's going to be able to pick up this one, but there's actually like an indentation there that makes it look like it's actually folded underneath. It's so cool. As you can tell, I am a tad excited about these. We also have some memories and more cards. You'll see more of those on my blog, but I have chattered long enough. You need to see some crafting. So I'm just gonna reset with the magic of video and get ready to start crafting. So we're back with the card. So I'm just going to give you all the measurements. This is larger than a standard size card. I wanted the focal point to be the storm, so I've gone bigger than I would do normally. So you need shimmery white card. If ever I'm working with water, this is what I use. It doesn't buckle or pill. It's beautiful, beautiful stuff. So that is 4.5 by 6.5 inches. Then I've got Night of Navy layer, which will be 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. And then my card blank will be 5 by 7. Yeah. So that's those layers. I've already gone ahead and stamped the inside layer. That is 4 3/4 by 6 3/4 for the inside of the card. You will also need the stamped elements. So I've gone ahead and done these ahead of time. So I've got the lighthouse, which you saw me die cut earlier. I've got this lovely rope, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to snip this and then feed it through the anchor like so. Now on the anchor, I've actually used shimmery, no, not shimmery, I'm sorry. I've used champagne foil sheets, and what I've done is I have stamped in Versamark and heat embossed. Now the heat embossing powder I use is basically a mixture of all of our colours. So I've got silver, gold, copper, some of the black and dazzling diamonds, and I just put like a teaspoon of each into a jar and shake it up, and it kind of gives you this kind of metallic, rusty, glittery effect. It's really cool. Mixing embossing powders is one of my favourite things to do because you just get different colours and textures each time. So that's that. And then I seem to be missing part of my wheel. So it was hiding under one of the pieces of cardstock. So I've actually cut this wheel out twice, once in early espresso and once in the champagne foil. And I'm just basically cut out the handle pieces and the spokes. And all I'm going to do is just stick this over the top. So it just gives it a really nice effect. So it looks like it's a wooden wheel. And then I've stamped the greeting, and then I've just overstamped with random stamps just to kind of give it a bit of an aged effect. So that is all of the elements that are going to go on the card. So let's get on with the fun bit. So I've already told you need shimmery white card. You're going to need a water spritzer, some frost white shimmer paint, 3 colours of re-inker. So I have Balmy Blue and Night of Navy, and then Pacific Point to brighten it a little bit. Now, just be really careful with the Night of Navy. It's a bit of a bully, and it goes over everything. So don't use as many drops of that. And then I am going to get the foil. My words today. This is cling film. And I am going to get a piece. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to crinkle it up so it is about the same size as the piece of cardstock. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but that's kind of the size that you want it. I'll just move that to one side. So first up, give your cardstock a bit of a squirt and turn it over. And the reason I do that is because it's going to stop it curling later. Then we are going to spritz the whole thing, and I'm going to spritz the cling film. Water is your friend. The more water you put on, the better this technique is. And then you're going to put some drops of re-inker all over. And like I said, don't go too crazy with the Night of Navy, because it tends to run it. It just covers over all the other colours. Now I put Pacific Point in because it's brighter, and it's a really good sort of colour. And then shimmer paint. It's got a ball bearing in it, so give it a good shake. And then just put a few drops here and there. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to kind of smoosh this around a bit. Now, to be fair, I often do this with my fingers, but you end up looking like a Smurf, so that's not necessarily the best plan. So I'm just going to give this a bit more of a spritz, and then I'm going to put this straight on the top of the cling film, and then I'll put my hand underneath and flip the whole thing over. Now just manoeuvre the cling film over the sort of area of the card. So what you want to do is make sure that you've got quite a lot of colour all over. But you want wrinkles and crinkles. So these are good. So the more wrinkles and crinkles that you've got, the better. And now you're going to have to wait. You're going to have to wait for it to dry. So you can leave it overnight. That's kind of the best plan. But what I tend to do is I tend to leave it for an hour or so, and then you can take the cling film off and use your heat gun and heat it up. But if you can, then leave it overnight. So, but by the magic of television, here's one I made earlier. Ta-da! So this one's got quite a lot of Pacific Point in and not as much Night of Navy. So that's one, but here are some more. so you can see how different they are each time. And this one you can see has got quite big crinkles in the cling film, and this one has got lots of little ones. So I'm going to finish off the card using this one. Once I've done that, then I will take the cling film off the other one and just show you. So let's just get all of these layers on. You will find as well that having put water on this shimmer white cardstock, it does make it buckle a little bit. So do use either double-sided tape or Tombow when you're matting and layering it, just to make sure that it's going to lie flat. And then this is going to go on the card blank. Like so. Got my stamped image for the inside. I love this balmy blue night of navy combination, it's just really pretty. Right, so let me get my elements. Oh look, you can see. I reuse cardstock. We're crafters, right? We all reuse cardstock. So there you go. That's obviously a sentiment that I decided I didn't need. All right, so I'm going to put my lighthouse here. I'm just going to move it slightly over. Then, let's see, I'm going to use dimensionals on the sentiment. Put that on. Like so. Then I'm going to use the smaller dimensionals here on this, but actually they are going to be too big as well, so I'm going to have to snip those. I don't really want them to show, so let's just put a few on there. Obviously you could trim the bigger dimensionals as well. So let's just take that off. Last one. So that one is going to go there. And then somewhere I've got my anchor. And again, the mini dimensionals. The anchor and the rope. I just love this. It's just got the rope's just got so much dimension. It's really good. Let's pop that over there so it's actually holding that down. And I'll cut that one in half as well. Had I been organised, I would have done that before I started. Right, here we go. So, last few bits, at least, well, while it's taking me a second or two to get the backings off these dimensionals, it does mean that the cling film, the pattern that I did earlier, has got a little bit more time to dry, which is a good thing. So I am going to pop that there. I'm just going to put a tiny bit of Tombow on that rope there, just to pin it down, but to leave it still with some movement. Let's just tuck that inside there. That's going to need a bit of Tombow as well. Tombow is needed all over. Right, there we go. So there we go. Okay, so that's card number 2. So this is the original card, and you can see again this is sort of a bit more brighter sky, this is darker, but I'm going to move these out of the way and just show you this one. Now obviously it hasn't had very long to dry, but you're going to be able to see, can you see as I'm lifting, can you see where those crinkles are? And that's where the shimmer paint is kind of pulled. It's just so cool. This is such a fab technique. I love this. That's just really cool. But what I am going to do is I'm going to put the cling film back on just so I get a bit more just here, a bit more crinkles of colour. So let's bring back in the original one just to show you. Obviously these colours will lighten a bit. Once they've dried, they will lighten up a bit. But I hope you have enjoyed today's sneak peek of new products and this cling film watercolour technique. So I hope to see you again soon. I will put all of the links of all of the products below, whether you're on YouTube or on my blog. The links for the very newest products won't work until the beginning of June, but they will be there. If you would like to subscribe to my YouTube channel or my blog, that would be wonderful. And do leave me a comment, whether it's on my blog or on YouTube. I answer each and every one, and I am very grateful that you take the time to do that. I hope to see you again soon. Goodbye.